Section 4, the Memorial Planning Guide. This is another critical part of the presentation as well. The Memorial Planning Guide. So what this does is this, and that's the little blue book. And unfortunately, I don't have one in front of me right now. But that's the little blue book where it says Memorial Planning Guide on it. And so what you're going to do is you're going to explain that book to them. Now, here's the thing. You never, ever, 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 ever want to give them that book while you are presenting. Because if you do that, it's over. They're going to be looking through that book, and while they're looking through it, you're going to be talking, and they're going to be saying, "Yeah, go ahead, finish. I'm listening to you. Go ahead." They're not listening to you. It's over. Once a person starts doing that, they've dismissed you. So I don't care if they get up, short of them putting a gun and taking that book from you, they're never going to get it from you. And when you finish presenting it, put it over to the side, because you're going to give it to them, but you're going to give it to them after the presentation is done. So the Memorial Planning Guide, you're going to let them know, hey, listen, this is going to be one of the most important books in your home. And then you're going to explain to them what happens, during a funeral process, particularly when someone dies unexpectedly. So here's the thing. Around the country, when someone dies unexpectedly, here's what happens. A lot of times people will come in, because they're not in the right frame of mind, they're in shock. They think the Lord's going to raise that person from the dead. They're trying to get their mom and dad, their son out of the casket. They'll tell the funeral home directors, listen, my son, he gets really cold. My mom gets cold. We need you to put a blanket on my mom so she doesn't get cold. My dad gets hot. We need you to put a fan on him because he gets really hot and he doesn't like to be hot. Or, my son loves having socks on because it makes him feel good. We need to put his socks on. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff that people will say because they're still in shock. And they don't want to hear, well, ma'am, he can't feel anything. They don't want to hear that. They want you to do what they ask them to do. So they're not in the right frame of mind, but then they come into the arrangement conference and they're trying to make decisions. And so you have some people that come in the arrangement conference and they want the most expensive things that you have. They want Michael Jackson level caskets. They want Frank Sinatra level caskets. They want Whitney Houston level caskets. They want President George Bush level caskets. They don't have George Bush level money. They want to see Prince's casket. What does Prince's casket look like? They don't have Prince's money. And then they want to see everything. They want the horse and buggy carriage. They want the limousine, the special limousine. They want all sorts of things. A bird release, balloon release. And here's the thing: they don't have a job. They don't have any money. And you need to explain this to people. This is what happens. People come in and they want the most expensive. And sometimes people don't want that because they don't value a dollar. And they think somebody else is going to pick up the bill. So you have that. Then you have the other extreme where you have someone that comes in and they've already gone to IKEA to pick out a new living room set. So they don't want you to have anything. They don't want you to have, flowers. She don't need no flowers. Do we have to put her in a casket? Can we just wrap her in a shawl? Is that illegal? So they've already got the money spent. So they're sitting in the arrangements trying to think of how they can keep this money in their pocket and not actually put it in the funeral service. So, and then here's the thing, as you're telling people this, if you're sharing with them, hey, listen, you have people that come in, they want the most expensive stuff, they are dealing in their mind with, hey, listen, I know I have a family member that's going to be what they're going to do. They're going to come in and try to spit up everything. I also have a family member, they're going to do that. They're thinking about buying a new Honda, a new condo. They're not going to be thinking about me. And so, and then you also have someone, so you got the high, you got the low, then you have someone that wants the middle of the road. They're the peacemakers. They say, listen, let's just do something in the middle. Now, here's the thing. Which one of those people are right? Here's the thing. When you're dealing with something like this, now here, I haven't even opened up the Memorial Planning Guide book. I'm just explaining what happened. You have the most, the least, the middle of the road. Which one of them are right? And you can even ask them, which one do you think is right? And they'll tell you, well, I think the one in the middle is right. The one, I like. I've had a gentleman tell me one time, shoot, they ain't gonna do me like that. I'm gonna get the nicest thing I can get. Because they are dealing with their own family dynamics in their mind. That's why you have to give the dichotomy of the most, the least, the middle. And then you can ask them, which one do you want? So, the thing is, here, what this allows you to do, you want to tell them this with the book. What this allows you to do is write in write in what you want to happen. That way, if something were to happen, now they can bring in the letter of instruction, they can bring in the Memorial Planning Guide, and they can say, this is what my mom wanted, this is what my dad wants, and it brings everybody together around what you want. Does that make sense? They will tell you, yes, that makes the sense in the world. Great. And then sometimes I'll share, one of the things that people fight about the most is glasses. Eyeglasses. You're like, what? What in the world? Why eyeglasses? Because, you'll have one person say, listen, we need to put on mom's glasses. And somebody else would be like, well, that's stupid. Her eyes are closed. She's dead. She can't see. Why are we putting the glasses on? And then somebody else, and then when you tell somebody their idea is stupid when their mama just died, oh my goodness, they don't forget about that ever. You talk about hard feelings. If you haven't made funeral arrangements before, you don't know what I'm talking about. Hard feelings come through funeral arrangements. So, so basically, then you'll have another person say, well, this is what she looked like. If you don't, have her looking like what she normally looks like, it's going to look strange. So now you have conflict. So if you don't put the glasses on, now the person doesn't look like themselves in their minds. And so people will be upset in the funeral arrangement. I mean, not the funeral arrangement, but at the funeral service, because they'll tell 6 other people, hey, listen, they didn't put my mother's glasses on. She doesn't look like themselves. They can't even enjoy the funeral service because the glasses aren't on. But this allows you to put everything that you want. That way there's no confusion. Does that make sense? Yes, it makes sense. Okay, so, and then boom. Now, I took a long time to explain that because I'm talking about philosophy. I'm talking about, but you can run through that real quick. Boom. So what have you done so far? You've already presented. You've done the recording of your warm-up. You've done your recording of telling a little bit about yourself. You've also done your recording of your questions. You've done your recording of, the letter of instruction. Now you've done your recording, or about to do your recording of the memorial planning guide. And so, this right here is going to be, really some of the crucial portions of your presentation. So I would ask that you would go ahead and pause this now and record this section. And then when you're finished, if you would send that to me, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much.